Good morning and welcome to my kitchen. Now it is the weekend. England have made it. We're in the final on Sunday. I'm so excited. I cannot wait. And I thought I would create two cracking recipes that are absolutely perfect for watching the football, but are also just great weekend ideas that you could cook whether you're watching the football or not. If you're an England fan, you'll love it, you'll know what I mean. If you're not, just cook these up, they're amazing. So first of all, we're gonna start with an amazing beef taco, and I'm actually gonna use skirt beef. And I'm gonna show you how to cook that nice and slow so it shreds up, serve it with some beautiful salsa. And my recipe for salsa, you could just use it all the time for anything. And we're gonna serve it up with a bit of sour cream, some lime, some spring onions and coriander. They'll be amazing. Brilliant football food. And then I'm going to show you how to make a savoury monkey bread. And this is like little dough balls rolled in spices and Parmesan cheese and then all baked together. So it's like a really delicious tear and share bread that you could use at any time, but perfect for sitting in the armchair, beer in one hand, grabbing bread with the other for football. So let's get cooking. Right. First of all, we're going to make the beef. Now, I went down to my local supermarket and I got some skirt beef. Let me show you this if you haven't used it before. It's a really good cut because you can cook it really quickly and serve it rare, or you can slow cook it, like really low, slow, shred it up. It's got tons of flavour. Now, when I developed this recipe, I was looking at using ox cheek or shin of beef, which are both absolutely delicious and you can totally use them. But they do take a long time to cook. You've no option. Long, low and slow for those. But skirt beef is a slightly smaller piece. It's full of flavour. It's absolutely delicious. So you use this as well and it takes a little bit less time to cook. But it's up to you. Right. First of all, we need to get some parchment paper. And I'll show you why. Let's get this going. So, get my parchment paper first. Now this recipe really could not be simpler. So I've got Carlos behind the camera today. Emily's not here with us. She's isolating. She got on her NHS app. So she's sat at home working away on edits and all that sort of stuff. So safely tucked away, but she's fine. So don't worry. But we've also got Carlos with us today who works alongside and he's on the edit. So he might chirp up with some questions. He is in mourning a little because Spain are not in the final, but we're not talking about that. He's pro-England now, aren't you?
I have to be now.
You can't support the Italians, can you?
No, not really.
Anyway, we'll move on. So, a little bit of oil onto some parchment paper. Okay. And then I've got some salt and some pepper at the bottom. Now let's take this skirt beef. You used skirt beef before, Carlos?
Oh, no.
No? It's delicious. It's really, really nice cut. I think he's looking forward to tasting it later. So I'm just going to move that there because I think Carlos was telling me to move it so he could see it on camera. Am I right?
Yep.
And then oil on the top and then plenty of salt and pepper. Beef takes plenty of seasoning, all right? It's a robust cut of meat and it needs seasoning to bring it right up. Now, I've got two slightly unorthodox ingredients, one slightly more than the other, but bear with me. I've got my famous little OXO cube out again because I want epic beefiness in this. I want this taco to scream beautiful Cumbrian beef. And so what I'm doing is I'm just grating an OXO cube over the top. And this will just make it beefier. But any of the juices that come out with it will make this beautiful, rich sauce. And it's all natural sauce here. We're not adding anything. We're just bolstering it all up, okay? And then dark chocolate. All right. Now, Mexican style food, the Aztecs would have always used chocolate or cacao in their recipe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the old Bourneville out, which is a dark chocolate. It's a good one. And then I'm just using the grater. I'm just going to grate some on top. And this will just add to the depth of flavour. What do you think to a bit of chocolate and beef, Carlos? Had that before?
No, I never thought of that combination.
Well, the Mexicans always use dark chocolate for seasoning.
All right.
And I will always put a little bit of chocolate in my chili, sometimes in my bolognese, you know, just to, I don't know what it does, it just kind of gives it depth, just more oomph. It's quite a hard one to explain. But now, what we're going to do is we're just going to wrap this beef up tight, all right? So, tuck it underneath itself, the edges under. It's quite important to get it nice and tight. And then I've got one of our masterclass cast aluminium pans. I'm going to put it in there. And the reason why I've put it in the pan is I can then put the lid on and it traps all the moisture in. And these little nobules here, these like little dimples, as the moisture comes up, it hits that and it drops back in. So it's going to keep all the moisture for me, okay? I'm now going to put this in the oven for 3 to 4 hours, 160 degrees till it is super tender.
Yeah, we are.
Okay, right, so time to make some bread. Now, we're going to make, it's called monkey bread. Not sure why, but it is. And it's basically a simple bread dough. And then we're applying flavors. You get sweet ones, you get savory ones. So we're going to start with 500 grams of strong bread flour, 7 grams of dried yeast, and 10 grams of salt. So it is a basic bread dough. I've got 300 mils of water. In it goes. I might need a little bit more. We'll wait and see. Get your hand like a claw, okay? And then just start to roll it around the bowl like that. Can you see that from above? Carlos has given us a nice overhead shot today, so hopefully you should be able to see this nice and easily.
What's that way?
That way?
That bit less?
There.
That's perfect.
All right, there we go. Right, let me just get a little bit more water. What you find with bread making is, depending on how warm it is in the kitchen, the warmer it is, the more water it will absorb. So I've put 300 mils, but you might find you need to add just that little bit more. But once you get a ball of dough like that, transfer it to the worktop and then hold it with one hand and stretch it away, okay? Don't add any flour to your worktop at this point, okay? All we're gonna do is just stretch and hold. And what we're trying to do is develop the gluten, okay? So bread flour is higher in protein, and once you get mixing it and working it, the protein turns to gluten. All right, you could do this in a mixer if you wanted to, but I quite like doing it by hand. It's a good workout, and it needs 10 minutes, okay, of just kneading and stretching. Just push it away, roll it back, push it away, and roll it back. So you can see the dough has now become really smooth, really easy to work with. That means it's ready now to prove. So get your mixing bowl back, pop it into the bowl, cover it, and then leave it for at least an hour. It's going to want to double in size. I've done one earlier, so I'll get that now. So, as they say, here's one I made earlier. So, can you see that, Carlos?
Yep.
Yeah? See how stretchy and glutinous it is now. So let's just pop that down there, and then we'll just knock all the air out so that we get a really nice second even proof. Okay? So I'm going to divide this dough into 4, and I just twist it in the middle. You could weigh it if you really want to, but I don't think it's really necessary. And then all we're going to do is roll them into sausages. All right, try and get them all the same size. So that will do there. Okay, it doesn't have to be exact, it's just an approximate really. It just helps us divide them all up into little pieces. You could leave these to prove now if you wanted to make a baguette. Right, okay. So, there we go. So they're ready. Let's just wipe my hands. Now, to make monkey bread, I want to flavour it and season it and give it a really good, you know, like, not garlic bread, but kind of like garlic bread, so it's got really good flavour. So, if I get a couple of bowls out, I'll show you how we're going to do it, okay? So, I have got here, let me move that to there so Carlos can see that. So, I've got some spices here, and then I've got a bowl of water. So I've got my water there, got my spices there, I've got my grater. Now, let me talk you through these spices. Are we on the overhead shot, Carlos?
We are now.
Okay, so I've got chili flakes, I've got garlic powder, fennel seed, smoked paprika, oregano, and ground onion. So that's dried onion powder, flakes, and that's going to give me a really nice savoury hit. I'm going to add, for richness, some parmesan, okay? So I'm just going to grate that up, and we will mix it all together. And this is going to make such an amazing seasoning. Okay. Do you have anything like this in Spain? Or not?
Not like I
No?
remember now. Probably we do, and now I'm going to be in trouble with all this.
So we're going to mix all the spices together, okay? Like so. And what I'm going to do is just add a little bit of flour as well, just to help make it a coating. So it's almost like a seasoning that you might use, that you might coat chicken in or something like that. Okay? So we're going to lay that out flat. And then I've got my big roasting tray here. Now these are absolutely epic for big roast dinners and things like that, but it's actually perfect for the job I want it for. So I'm just going to pop that there to one side for the minute. And then we'll get a knife. What shall I use? In fact, I'll tell you what I'll use. I'll use one of these. And all I'm going to do is just cut little pieces. All try and get them nice and even if you can. Because you want, the only reason for that is so they cook all at the same time. Roll your ball of dough like so. See that? We're going to drop it in the water. Once you've put it in the water, roll it in the spice. Now look at it. See, can you imagine how tasty that's going to be, Carlos?
Oh, it looks really nice.
Yeah? This is like garlic bread on steroids. And then pop them into there. So, and you could do do you know what? You could go any way you like with this. You could go Italian, you could go Spanish, you could go French, you could go Mexican, you could go Indian. You can kind of play with your flavour profiles. I just brought some flavours together that I think will work really, really well. Drop it in the water and then roll it. Or sprinkle it over the top like that. And then just take time and we're going to fill this whole tray. Okay, so now all the little dough balls are in and ready. Look, they look amazing. They smell fab. They just need leaving to prove for maybe 30, 40 minutes. They want to double in size and kind of meet each other in the middle. And then bake it in the oven, 190 degrees, probably take 20 minutes. And then I'm going to brush them with a little bit of olive oil while they're warm so that they kind of absorb that rich, beautiful, viney flavour. And then they're ready. Okay, time for salsa now. The beef is in the oven, cooking away, doing its thing. It's going to be absolutely delicious. The best thing you can give that beef is time. Let it all cook and marry together with those flavours while we make a salsa. Now this recipe is super easy, really versatile, and you can kind of use it for all kinds of things. Chuck it on some nachos with a little bit of cheese and whack it through the oven. You know, serve it up with a little bit of char-grilled chicken would be nice, with some halloumi, with roasted vegetables, whatever takes your fancy. Okay, so what I need to do is chop up my red onion. All right, now, so we want to do this really, really fine, okay? So we're going to cut the onion in half. And then, because this core here, can we see this, Carlos?
Can we just move a bit forward?
Yeah?
There.
So that core holds all the onion together, all right? So we're going to flip it over and then just slice diagonally, all right? So we leave a little bit of the onion at the end, which holds it all together. And then cut in like that. And then just cut the onion as fine as you can. Now, if you've any questions at all about my recipes, please post them in the comments. We're always there to answer any questions about my recipes or about the equipment that I use, or if you've always wanted to just ask something about a particular way of cooking, I'll try and help you. And if I can't, the guys at Masterclass will. So I'm super excited about the football on Sunday. Really, really nervous, excited, can't wait. First time England have ever hit a final in my lifetime. So been hearing about 66 all my life, and now we can talk about 2021. So slice that onion up really nice and fine. And what we're going to do is we're going to pickle this onion in lime juice and make sure it's got that real zing about it. Because the beef is quite rich, we want to counter it with something really fresh, vibrant, crunchy, acidic, just delicious. Okay, so that is my onions. So I'm just going to grab a bowl. So I'm actually going to mix it in a bowl. I'm going to serve it in actually, because we can. So let's put the onions into our bowl. There we go. Right. So let's just put our onions to one side. Give it a quick wipe. Tidy as we go, Carlos, don't we?
Yeah, we have to.
Right, so lime juice. Now, you can squeeze the limes yourself if you want, but what I suggest you do is try and get soft limes because you get loads of juice out of those, but just roll it like that and kind of work it through your hands and start to sort of feel if it's nice and soft, you're going to get plenty of juice out of it. So cut it in half, and then I'm going to use this juicer here because it just gets all the juice out. And it's not easy with the lime, so any help you can get is good. So just turn it and squeeze the lime around it. Do you see how much juice we're getting out of there? So I'm going to put 2 limes on this onion. It's a decent sized red onion. There we go, need some mussels for that one. This one's nice and soft already actually, so we're good for that. Like a salsa, Carlos?
Yeah, I love it.
Do you make a good one?
Not really.
Oh, you will after this.
I can dance salsa.
You can dance salsa. Well, you've got that on me, I can't. I can make it, you can dance it.
I see. Good team.
I'm not sure we should be dancing together, Carlos. Right. Okay, so let's get a spoon and mix all this around and make sure the lime juice gets all over the red onions because we want them almost pickled. Okay, so onions just pickling away in the lime juice there, they're going to be amazing. Now let's add a bit of heat. Now, red chili. Now, my family don't like loads of chili, but they do like a little bit. So we're going to go full red chili in mine, and we're going to remove the seeds so that we've got more of the flavour and less of the heat. Just push that to one side. Do you like it spicy, Carlos, or are you not so spicy?
I like spicy food.
Do you?
I can't handle it really well, but I like spicy.
So we're going to cut the chili into matchsticks first. Turn it round, gather it all up together, and then run the knife through it so that we get a nice fine dice. Now, you could use dried chili flakes if you want to, but I just think salsa is all about fresh. So I think a fresh chili is much nicer in it. But look, if you can't get hold of one, use chili flakes. So in with the red onions. So now we're going to have like pickled chili as well. Tomatoes. Now you want good, nice, ripe tomatoes. You don't want rock hard ones. And we're going to cut them into quarters. Okay. And then once they're into quarters, we're just going to roll. Can we see this all right, Carlos?
Yeah, perfect.
So we're just going to roll a knife and lift the centerpiece because it's got lots of water in and I don't want to dilute the flavour. I want to concentrate my flavours on the salsa. So it really, really plays a part in this taco. Tacos are all about sort of having a medium to carry loads of great flavours and then get some balance. So we want good flavour and we want balance. You know, balance in our flavours. So it's not all about the beef. It's not all about the salsa. It's not all about the sour cream. They're all working harmoniously together to just create the most delicious mouthful of food. I'm really excited about eating this. The good thing about working in this place is you get to eat what we film. So it's a good eating day today, Carlos.
No, I'm ready for it.
It's a good one. So, Emily's missed a good one today, hasn't she, bless her? She would like this. Right, let's pop that to one side. Now, tomatoes, cut one way and then chop the other way. And then you just get a really nice sort of dice of tomato. We've got rid of all the water. And now we've just got the flesh of the tomato. Now, if you haven't got fresh tomatoes, or you wanted to make this in winter, get a tin of good quality chopped tomatoes and pour them through a sieve. Get rid of all the water and the moisture, and then just add that instead, and you'll just get such a nice flavour, and it's a great sort of winter alternative, because tomatoes often don't taste of a lot in winter, in my opinion. Summer is when they're delicious. So, nearly done. So you can see it's super quick, great for a barbecue, this salsa. You know, even on some like hot dogs and making posh with some beautiful fresh salsa, it's a game changer. Really, really is. Okay, so we've got that. Now, what else do we need? Coriander. Now, coriander is amazing. Very polarizing, interestingly. It's one of these things that you either love or hate. Now, I love coriander, and the stalk has got so much flavor in it. So we're going to put the stalk in the salsa. So just trim the ends off, and then we're going to almost treat this like a vegetable and just shred the stalk up really, really fine. I mean, instantly now I've cut through the stalk, I'm getting all the flavour. You smell that, Carlos? Smell?
I know,
it's
wow.
so intense,
Yeah,
the stalk.
yeah.
Honestly, please, never throw the stalk away. Use it. It's got such an intense coriander flavour. Now, into the salsa goes the coriander. All right? I'll put that there, because Carlos is probably wanting me to put that there. Then in with the tomatoes. There we go. Now we're starting to look a bit more like a salsa. Okay. There we go. Now, not much more to add. To bring the sweetness together of this, we need an ingredient my children are a little bit obsessed with. Where is it? Don't tell them. I've pinched it from the cupboard. Ketchup, okay? Now this just sort of brings it all together. Okay? Couple of tablespoons mixed in. Once it hits the lime juice, the coriander, and a bit of seasoning, you'd forget it's got ketchup in it. You really would. Okay, so a sprinkle of salt, sprinkle of pepper, and there we go. We have got a killer salsa. This is just flavour all over the spot. Okay? The only thing to add to this is a little bit of fresh coriander leaf at the very end, but don't add it now, because the acidity of that in there will just sort of break it down, and what you want is fresh and vibrant. So add the coriander at the end. Right, my monkey bread is baked. It smells amazing because we've rolled it in the spices and the cheese and a little bit of flour. They've created this amazing crust. Now the only thing to do to finish it is a drizzle of really beautiful extra virgin olive oil. So while it's warm as well, it's really important. And that's just going to take all that flavour and just give a bit of richness. What do you think of that, Carlos?
Yeah.
That looks good, doesn't it?
Put my hands on it already.
This is the perfect food just to grab while you're watching the football. Or just put it down in the middle and let everyone tuck in. It's that tear and share bread with real flavour. You could even dunk it in your salsa as well. So, perfect. Now, let me put this to one side. Let's get on to the beef. Now, that can go there, in fact, and I'll get the beef out of the oven. Okay, this beef smells blooming amazing. Really, really good. Now, can you see it is just cooked inside that parchment paper? So all the flavour has stayed in, all the moisture, because we put it inside the dish, inside the pan even. So if I'm going to get a plate, and what I'm going to do is just carefully lift it out. Let's pop that pan over there out of the way. And then I'm going to unwrap this beef. Oh, it smells so good. Right, in fact, let's get some tongs. So the skirt beef, lift it off. Oh, look at that. Looks good. This is football food. And then I'm just going to get a couple of forks and we're just going to shred it up. But do you see, look, you see, that is perfect beef. The way, look, let me just show you this to the camera. Which is the best one for me to show this to?
Number one.
Which one's number one? This one. Can you see there? Look, it's just, oh. Is your mouth watering or what, Carlos?
Yeah, it is indeed.
Look at that. This is the perfect beef for tacos and for burrito. You know, this kind of food, it's like that pulled. It just pulls apart like so. Oh, it's just so good. Right. There we go. Now, I'm going to make, Carlos, I'm going to make you one of these tacos. You're going to love this.
Please.
So, fresh coriander in, a few spring onions in. Give it a nice little mix. So give that salsa a really good stir together. That fresh coriander is just going to lift it from one level to the next. But now it's time to make the ultimate taco, perfect for that final on Sunday night. So I've got these beautiful little, they're actually piadina, which is like a little Italian flatbread actually. They're beautiful. But I'm going to use them as tacos. Look, the little tiny soft wheat tortillas. So first, in with our shredded beef. Oh, I'm so excited about this beef. It looks good. What do you think about this, Carlos?
I wanted one.
You want? Oh, no problem. We'll have to test it for everyone. Right, so salsa in. There we go. I like to put the salsa on top of the warm beef because it kind of drips in. And then we have got a little bit of sour cream, which I think just kind of gives it that richness. You could add a little bit of cheese as well if you like. Some spring onions for crunch. And then here you go. That squeeze of lime all over it just freshens it up and just makes it alive. And then that little bit of sour cream on the top there is delicious. And that is it. That is the perfect taco. Now, if you want the recipes, please go to cookserveandenjoy.com. You will find them there. All the equipment that I use in my kitchen's there as well, so you'll always be able to get some amazing gear to cook some fabulous food. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you are cheering for England on Sunday night. I know I am. I cannot wait for an amazing European Cup final. It's going to be brilliant. But thank you very much. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week.